Breaking news for Cardano holders. One of the world's largest asset managers, Franklin Templeton, just met with the Cardano Foundation CEO yesterday. Now, I have an updated price prediction with a conservative take and then a bullish take where you might as well go ahead and pick out the color of your Lambo. And all these price predictions are going to be backed by data. And so now Cardano is eyeing a bullish comeback amid this new institutional talk. So Frederick Gregaard, the CEO of Cardano Foundation, recently met with Jenny Johnson, the CEO of Franklin Templeton, which has over $1.6 trillion in assets under management. But it doesn't end there. The team is also going to travel to Washington, D.C. in the coming week to collaborate with U.S. policymakers for blockchain-related frameworks. And here's Gregaard's post talking about meeting with Franklin Templeton. He said the conversation quickly converged on importance of blockchain infrastructure. And this is interesting as well. Not a lot of people are reporting on this. It is a point of pride that Franklin Templeton already runs a Cardano node. Now, if you go to this website and check it out yourself, you'll see the node operations and the different chains that they're building on or have nodes on. And so there you can see Cardano is an actively ran node in the Franklin Templeton network. Now, part of the institutional rush is Cardano is about to start integrating with Bitcoin in a major way. Here's a 20-second clip of Charles Hoskinson.
What Cardano has effectively done because of this work is Cardano is becoming the de facto dev platform for Bitcoin script, if you think about that. And that's an amazing thing. So if you're a Bitcoin developer now, your first entry point can be through BitVMX. And what you know is that over time, that platform is going to get more capable. It's going to get faster, it's going to get cheaper to utilize, and ultimately it's going to have a larger ecosystem around it.
And these two developments are probably why Cardano whales have gone nuts over the past week. Whales have made a weekly purchase of more than 180 million Cardano or ADA worth a whopping $126 million. And if you look at the bar chart here, you can see the whale addresses steadily accumulating. And the last thing I want to share before the price prediction is this. Charles Hoskinson said, our guys ran into Joe Rogan at Trump's inauguration. Rogan knows who we are. We'll definitely get something up with them at some point. And then this is breaking. He just revealed this on a Spaces this week. There's a rumor he might be on Joe Rogan. He said, I'm going to be on a major podcast next month, probably the biggest podcast. I'm flying to go film. It's going to be exciting. Been looking forward to being on this podcast for a while. We might see a Joe Rogan pump as well. But now it's time for the charts, and then we're going to give you some price predictions for the next 9 months or so. And so right now, Cardano on the USD chart is just kind of potentially breaking out of a bull flag pennant formation here. It looks like as we speak, Cardano is currently retesting the structure. And so Cardano was just in this structure, and you can see that it played out, fairly well. If you measure from the breakout, this is essentially where Cardano ended up finding a top. And so if we measure this flagpole breakout, we're going to get a pretty bullish chart prediction here. That's given us a potential $2.85 Cardano. And the way that works is oftentimes the uptrend of the flagpole gives us a good target for our breakout zone. All right, so what we're looking at here is the Cardano Bitcoin trading pair and the amount of Satoshis that Cardano typically trades at. And right now we're trading around 648 Satoshis, but 700 Satoshis has historically been a very important structure for Cardano. In this current market structure here, you can see, 700 kind of about the first line of defense for support. Then it acted as resistance and has acted as support. But right now, the bears are trying to push it down below 700. Cardano bulls are trying to push it above. So now it's time to do the Cardano price prediction with Bitcoin Cardano. So we're looking at ADA priced in Satoshis. And right now, one Cardano is worth about 650 Satoshis. But 700 Satoshis is a very important level. You can see this recent cycle here kind of came down during this bearish period for altcoins, acted as support, fell below it, acted as resistance, and then kind of has acted as support. But right now, the bears and the bulls are fighting. If you go to the previous cycle, we see a similar situation here. First acted as a little bit of support, very brief, acted as resistance, and then continued to act as support before kind of using it as a launch pad for Cardano's next bullish period. And if you go to the first cycle, you see something similar, knocked against it a couple times, used it as support, and really was like a springboard for diving into the pool, and that pool was called alt season. So from 2017, let's go all the way back to today, 2025. What are some of the levels that we're looking at for Cardano? Well, I busted out the spreadsheet here, and so we're going to be pricing Cardano for a price prediction video here at 2,000 sats and 3,500 sats. So 2,000 sats is going to be our conservative target for Cardano. Now, let me show you why I've highlighted 2,000 sats. So I just drew this horizontal line here. You can see it's a pretty important level for Cardano. Has acted as support, has acted as resistance, and this was last cycle and was also a very important area the previous cycle as well. So 2,000 sats, I think, is my conservative take. I would be very surprised if it fails to hit 2,000. So this is where I think Cardano is going to be heading first. But we have another bullish take, and that's going to be 3,500 sats. And we landed at 3,500 sats is if we hit this trend line sometime around Q1 2026. And if you're looking for a more exact date, it should be around the beginning of February for this 3,500 sat level. So let's go ahead and do some price predictions here. So at $106,000 Bitcoin, that's going to give us, essentially where we're at here for Bitcoin's price, but a little bit more sats. You're looking at $2.12 conservative target, $3.71 for a more bullish target. Let's start pumping up here. So 140K, now we're getting a little bit more bullish. $2.80 Cardano or a $4.90 Cardano at 3,500 sats. Now let's keep going. $180,000 Bitcoin. If we can hit these levels on Satoshis, $3.60 for 2,000, $6.30 for Cardano if we can hit 35. And the most bullish target of all, $225,000 Bitcoin. If we can continue to print and Bitcoin just keeps getting up and up and up, essentially more than doubling from this point, Cardano's going to go bonkers. We could potentially have a $7.88 Cardano. Let me know if you'd like to see an $8 ADA. I know I certainly would. Let me know where you think Cardano is going to be ending up this cycle. I'll be reading the comments down below. I'm Deezy for Discover Crypto. Hopefully I'll see you in your ADA bags at the top.